everybody, and welcome to episode 4 of the Dyer's Journal podcast. I am your host, Jackie, of Lowlander Yarn Studio, and I'm glad you've joined us for episode 4. Ignore the sign behind me that says episode 3. I forgot to change it from last time, so you are actually tuned into episode 4. So we have some things to talk about today. We have some business things to talk about, and we also have some knitting projects to talk about, some works in progress, also some projects that I want to do because it's coming up for Christmas and I want to get Christmas knitting started. Every year I do not just knitting, I do a host of different projects for the kids and stuff. So yeah, there'll be some knitting, there'll be some crochet, and I get some other things that I want to do, which will be fun. So first, let's talk about life, I guess. What's been going on since, not in the business world or in the knitting world, what's been going on in my world since last time I spoke to you guys? Well, I have 4 kids. I'm sure you already know that. And 2 little grandbabies. So life is usually pretty busy. So, and it just so happens that 3 of my kids' birthdays are all fall within like a 4-week period. So, I'm going to try and not move so much because every time I move, my camera shakes. So, I try not move. Okay, I'm going to move away from my table, take my notes and put them on my lap. So yes, my eldest, well, firstly, we celebrated my daughter Rebecca's birthday. She turned 19 on the 19th of July, and apparently it was her golden birthday because it was the 19th of July. Why was it her golden birthday? She told me. Let me think about this. She turned 19 on the 19th. In the year 2019, so that's why it was her golden birthday. So yes, so we celebrated that first, and one way we celebrated it was she was flying back to Scotland to go see my mum, aka Helga. So she's with Helga right now. So me and my partner drove her to Kansas City and spent the weekend in Kansas City before we flew her out. So she's over there for 3 weeks, and on this podcast there should be a little video clip of her with her nana over in Scotland, as you know her, Helen. So you'll get to see your favourite person, because I'm obviously not your favourite person, but I'm all you have. So talking about Helga, actually after the last podcast, called her, sent her it, whatever, and called her and asked her how it went and stuff, and she's like, well, hen, that's what people call people in Scotland. Instead of honey, they'll call them hen. Well, hen, it was really good, but you know what? Don't forget to smile next time. And I'm like, Mum, I was sitting in a room by myself looking at a wall, totally intimidated because no one else was with me. It's sometimes kind of hard to remember to smile, so I'm going to remember to smile. And I think I'm going to start putting a section in the podcast that's entitled Helga Said Do This, because she keeps me on my toes. So yes, if you're watching, Helga, hi, all the way here from Missouri to Scotland. So anyways, that was the first birthday we celebrated, and then came the big one. My firstborn turned 30, so we celebrated his 30th this last weekend, and I might say he's rather depressed, actually. He's rather depressed that he is 30. He doesn't understand why he needs to be 30, and he wants to recapture his youth. So I don't know when he's going to snap out of it, but I'm just like, yeah, you're 30, dude. Yeah, you're 30. So I actually can't believe I have a 30-year-old, but I do. So, and then the next one we celebrate, so that was my son Sean. And the next one we celebrate is my son Calvin, who turns 26 this weekend. So we will be celebrating his birthday. So yes, it's been a month of birthdays and busyness and birthday cake and birthday dinners and stuff like that. So yeah, it's just been a really busy month. And also I've got to hang out with my 2 grandbabies, Stella and Ayla, this month. So they just spent the whole weekend with their nana, so that was fun, and I was totally exhausted afterwards. But, you know, Ayla is 2. Uh, Ayla is 2 and Stella is 4. Now, Ayla at 2, I do remember Stella being 2 and being the cutest thing on earth. So Ayla just loves everybody. She just is happy. She just loves everybody. Stella is 4. So here's how it goes in a 4-year-old's life. Some days she absolutely loves you, and some days she absolutely does not love you. And with being 4, she doesn't really hide the fact when she doesn't love you. Like on Sunday, she's like, Nana, I think I'll just go home to my family now. And I said, well, you know, Mummy and Daddy's working, so you got to be with Nana another little bit. She's like, Nana, I don't want to be here anymore. I just don't like it here. And I'm just like, but I'm your family. So anyways, they're a delight. They're the apple of my eye. And for all you grandmothers out there, or grandmothers to be, being a nana is just the best. You get to loving them, spoil them. You don't have the responsibility of raising them. And then you get to say bye-bye and go have a glass of wine or chill out. So yeah, it's kind of nice. I kind of like it. So yeah. So that's what's been happening in my busy little life this past month. So yes, between that and work and dyeing yarn, I have been a busy little bee. So talking about dyeing yarn, let's step right into our little business section and what's happening here at Lowlander this month. So we have a lot happening this month. We have a lot of clubs running now. We've just added another monthly club called our Color Party Club. And you may have seen it on Instagram or on Facebook. But basically, actually, when I first advertised that, because I called it a colour party, people actually thought that I was having a party where you came and dyed yarn. I called it a colour party because I think whenever you play with colours that are vibrant, and it's going to be hand-painted yarn, so to me that really is playing with your yarn, playing with the colour, different color combinations and everything else. So I called it Color Party because of that, but I'm thinking I might actually need to rename it. So I don't know, we'll see. But anyways, the Color Party monthly club, just like our mystery monthly club, there's no subscriptions. You sign up per month, so if you miss 1 month, you can step on the next month. There's no commitments, no nothing. It's a great club. You can pick it up once, you can do it every month, you can do whatever you like. So there's some that have picked it up again for August who picked up the July one, and there's new ones that just stepped on board. So we firstly have our mystery yarn club of the month, and that's just a complete mystery of what you get, and it's one of our signature yarns, so it'll be like a speckled or something like that, and more dreamy and romantic yarns. And our color party mystery club will all be about art, my favorite art pieces, and the first month we're doing it here is August, and I've extended the deadline. Normally it cuts off on the 7th of every month, but I've extended it a little bit so those who are watching the podcast and finding out about it for the first time can jump on board. There's about 5 spots available, so there's not many available. That's all we have left. But the Colour Party Club will still be a mystery, but it will be based on those people who just love colour. And it's always going to be based off of a piece of art that I love and adore. The first one being Hamish the McCoo from the McCoo series by Stephen Brown, I think it is. But anyways, he's an artist back in Scotland who took the Highland cow, which is our national animal, and artistically designed a series of Highland cows that were really deco art kind of style. And they're absolutely amazing, and I have always loved them. I own several pieces and own a colouring book that you can colour yourself. But anyways, the first one is based on Hamish McCoo. If you go to our website under clubs, you can see that. And step on board for August. If you miss August, step on board in September. I don't know what art piece I'm picking for September yet. We shall see. So that's that. And then the other kind of club we have going is Advent season. So we have 2 choices for Advent. We have our 25 days of Christmas and we have our 12 days of Christmas. And I'm not going to get into it all because I said it on the last podcast. So if you want to sign up for those two clubs, you can hop on to our website, and we are happy to announce that we just started a subscription for our 25 days of Christmas for those who wanted to come on board but couldn't make the full commitment up front. You now have the options to do like 4 payments over the next 4 months, but you will need to step on board soon because our subscription part will close at the end of August, so that it allows people to pay those 4 monthly payments. So if you want to sign up to the subscription part of the subscription advent calendar, you will need to do it before the end of August, because that will be gone. It won't be reopened, and after that you'll just need to pay the full price up front. So yes, we're excited about that. We've started planning for that, and yeah, so that's our 3 clubs that we've got going. The other exciting news I have in business is we're about to go into our first yarn shop, which is here in St. Louis, Missouri, and it's a new yarn shop. And if you have not made your way up there, if you're close by and you can, then go there, because it's a great little shop. But it is called the Curious Crafter, and Lowlander will have their yarns in there come, I believe, September. I'm just about to start dyeing the yarn order for there, and hoping to have it up there by the end of August. So they will carry a small selection of our yarns, and just for you guys, I already went up there and met with Holly, who is awesome. That's the owner of the shop, and I did a little vlogging. So I am going to switch you over to show you a little of the Curious Crafter and all they have to offer and the great location that it's in, and to show you guys where Lowlander's first home is gonna be. So I'm going to switch. Hi, and you're out and about with Lowlander. I am here at the Curious Crafter visiting for the day with my friend Lorena, and I can't wait to show you about everything and show you all the neat stuff that she's got. She's got a lot of great stuff. It's a brand new shop here up in St. Louis, Olive Boulevard, if you're looking for it. Certainly look her up, like her on Instagram, like her on Facebook, get on our website. But yes, I am now going to show you about this will be the first yarn shop that Lowlander stocks in, so that's pretty exciting. And I want to give you another look about the shop, and show you what some of my favorite parts are of. Got to fix our little thing here that I knocked off. Yeah, so let's go around our shop out and about with Lowlander. Let me turn you around. So look at this, guys. The shawl is so delicious. I love it. I can't remember what it's called. I think it's called the butterfly shawl, and it's on Ravelry, but anyways, I'll put a link to it when I do the podcast. And look at this. Curiosity never killed the craft. This is the cutest shop ever. Look at her little banner, her little desk. How cool is that? And then look at these little felt bags. Oh my goodness, I love the felt bags. Yeah. Look at this. Oh, so nice to be in a yarn shop. It's just great. Look at all those beautiful yarns. Lowlander soon to be up there.
And that's the nature of
Yes.
stabilize them more.
Yeah.
You can do more with it.
So this is what's hot right
I
now.
know.
The solids,
Yes.
kind of the dark deep colors, and there's like a green.
And I am buying some little baby yarns for my little niece in Scotland to knit something, so that's kind of cool.
But I think that,
Sweet
and I think that
Georgia.
if we did a bag, like this kind of bag, and we did.
Oh, I didn't notice this yarn.
We did it in
And dyed in Vermont, Round Mountain Fibers. Oh, how cool is that?
Yes.
I think that would really work. And then
How cool is that?
Some tabs that say the Curious Crafter that we could pop on the end.
Exactly.
Yeah. So then we can have that, and then maybe we do.
Oh, so nice.
I like that big coat too.
Will be essential part of a high fiber diet.
I carry tote bags all the time.
I do too, and it's not too big.
And here's ladies
Where you
discussing
realize you've got
some
no.
business.
Right. And it
Almost
is,
knocked something down. What
again,
changes?
it's going
Nothing
like, and I
really.
use the ticking inside, so it's
Yes.
got the help.
Yeah.
And I put a zipper in it.
Yes.
Oh, look at the zipper balls. I didn't notice the zipper balls. Oh,
Yes.
Because
I might have to buy a zipper ball. I like that color.
Yeah, I have done
1995 for a zipper ball.
and
I love it.
the nice thing, and I
think
tell
for a
you,
tote bag,
Look at this. Elizabeth Zimmerman. Knit on with confidence and hope through all crisis. Isn't that the truth when you drop a million stitches? I love it. Okay, guys. I will see you later. Hi and welcome back. I hope you enjoyed your little jaunt to the Curious Crafter, and I hope I was able to capture just a little bit of her shop. It's a great shop, and we are super excited to be having our yarns up there. So look for our yarns up there. Should be up there for the end of August. And the other exciting thing about having our yarns up there is Holly and myself collaborated on a custom yarn for her shop with her shop colours, and she got to name it, and she named it Color Me Curious. So next time on our podcast we'll show you that yarn, and it will come with a shawl, a shawl pattern if you buy the yarn, and it will be exclusive to her shop, so you'll only be able to get it if you go to her shop and get it, or she possibly may put it on her website. I would assume so. So check Holly out at the Curious Crafter and look for our next update on that. St. Louis, Missouri. You can find her on Facebook. She has a website, and plug into her Instagram. And don't forget to subscribe to our podcast to be kept up, because at the end of the day, it's gonna get better. It really will get better, because okay, as you've noticed, I don't have a window behind me, so we kind of like, my son told me I had to change all the room about, so I did all that. We're still having some issues, obviously. Every time I touch the table, ooh, wiggle. You guys move. So yeah, we still got a little adjusting to do. But you know what? I promise we'll get better. I don't know. Some people are really good at podcasting, and some people not so good. I'm hoping I become good. I'm hoping you guys want to come back and watch me, if for nothing else but to have a laugh, because I don't know, I'll probably screw up a million times. So yeah, I don't know. So, but as we're talking, before we go over to something else, when I went to the Curious Crafter, I bought a few things, and I don't have everything here, but one of the things I bought, because I didn't really need yarn, because I have a lot of yarn. Yeah, I have too much yarn. I gotta learn to speed knit. Yeah, wonder if someone can teach you to speed knit. Anyways, I don't know. So, but one of the things I bought was this little gadget, or like they say in Scotland, a hoogie cum differ, because I don't know what it's called, and if you don't know what something's called in Scotland, you call it a hoogie cum differ. So I bought this little thing, and it's for making pom-poms and making tassels, and I will put the name down below. I can't remember the name, but I have the leaflet about it. So yes, I bought it for little pom-poms and tassel making, and one of the projects I did with it was made a little notion bag where I made a little tassel. I love notion bags. I like a notion bag in every single knitting bag that I have, because I just like notion bags. Because I really need notion bags, because I'm always losing stuff, so I need one in every single knit bag, because I'm always losing scissors and everything else. So I try and make up a notion bag for every knit project bag I have. So this was my latest one, and then I want to make some pom-poms, because I have a project bag in mind. I may have it done for the next podcast that has pom-poms attached. So yeah, I'm kind of excited about that. And I also made the little tassels for our background up there. So that was that. So I am just going to throw that down there. And that's that. So yes, should we talk about works in progress? Because I don't think I can really talk about works finished, because I didn't really finish anything. But I am a lot further forward with my whole concept of simplifying my business, so I have more knit time. And I definitely did have more knit time. Not as much as I wanted, but more than I had before. So first thing I'm going to show you is my shawl that I showed you last time, that I was hoping to have finished, but obviously I did not finish. But I am a lot further along. I am on the lace section of my shawl, and the shawl is by Hoey Locotelli, and it is the girl from the grocery store, and it's an asymmetrical shawl, and this is the part I kind of showed you last time. I was halfway up here, and it kind of stripes out like that. Let me drop that, and as you can see, oh, I absolutely love it. And now I am on the lace section, which is so exciting, which means I am almost finished, and I should have this finished for the next podcast. So you should be seeing it all blocked and lovely. And most things I am knitting this year are me projects. So projects that I've picked this year to either showcase yarns or just because I want to knit them are purely for me, other than some Christmas projects that I am about to start or have started. So that's that. And anything I mention on the podcast, I'll put down below. You can check it out. All the links and everything, patterns, yarns, whatever, I will link below. So yes, what next? The other thing in exciting business news, but personal knitting crochet news, is we have collaborated with a designer called Rachy Newin Designs. I can never get her name with my Scottish tongue, I don't know why. But anyways, she designed a crochet shawl working with one of her yarns, which is Coral Blush, and she called it Raindrops on Rosie's Shawl, and she completed it, and it's now out for publication. You can find this by going to Ravelry. It's a really cute shawl, and you can't really see from the picture, but it's all beaded. And I have just literally got it on my crochet hook, so I shall be hopefully working that up a little bit before the next podcast. But also, we are going to have these as kits. I just got the codes for the pattern, so we will have these available on our website here in the next couple of weeks in kit form, where you get the pattern and you get the yarn and you can just crochet to your heart's delight. So yeah, we're really excited about that. You can also find Rachy on Facebook, on Ravelry, and on Instagram. Please follow her. She has the most awesome crochet designs ever. I absolutely love her as a crochet designer, because I love to crochet. I don't do enough of it, but I do love to crochet. So yeah, follow her. And this is a yarn I chose for it. I haven't named this colorway yet, and you can't really see it because it's all caked up, but I started a little bit. Let me see. You can see it a little bit right here. Yes, so I got to name this colorway. It's not available on our website yet, so that shall be named. I'm not sure what, but this is one of our speckled yarns. You can't see the speckles because it's all in a cake, but it's one of our speckled yarns. So that's something that I'm working on. The other thing that I talked about last time on the podcast was I had picked a vest in worsted weight yarn for me to knit for myself. So one of the things I didn't realise, I showed you it last time, it's from the Sublime book 682. Well, when I went to dye the yarn, I had to go look at the pattern to see how much yardage I needed to dye, and I noticed, if I can get this up, close enough right there. It is actually called the Jackie Vest. What's the odds of that? I didn't know it was called the Jackie Vest when I saw it and I loved it and I picked it to knit. But yes, it is actually called the Jackie Vest. So super exciting. It was meant to be. It was such a marriage. Anyway, so I went into the dye studio to dye the yarn for the Jackie Vest. And guess what, guys? I took you into the dye studio with me while I dyed the yarn. So I am going to pop you over to show you my dyeing process for my Jackie Vest. And when you come back, I'm going to show you a little bit of it knit up and the yarn in action. So check back in with me in a minute. Hi, and welcome to the Dyer's Journal podcast, where I have you in the dye studio today, so I'm kind of excited. I am going to be dyeing up some things here today. I got a couple of things on my agenda. First things first, I'm going to be dyeing up my worsted weight yarn for my vest that I showed you in the last podcast. So I'm kind of excited about that because that's just a me project. So yeah, that makes me happy. So yes, that's on my agenda today. So I want to show you the process of that. And excuse the noise outside because I'm actually in my garage. This is where I dye. So you can hear traffic. But anyways, and then the other thing I have on my agenda, which I probably won't vlog about, but I have a friend coming over today who, I'll wait for the truck to pass. I have a friend coming over today who wants me to custom dye some yarn. She has some variegated yarn that she has in a shawl, and she wants me to pull some colours from that and do some custom colorways. So I'm really excited about that because I love custom dyeing, plus I love to be in the studio with friends. So that's what I'll be doing. But I want to invite you back once I get changed out of my work clothes, because I'm just back from work and I've just prepped my yarns. So while they're soaking, I am going to go change clothes and check back in with you in just a moment. Okay, I am back and I am ready to measure some dyes. I'm waiting on my friend coming who I'm going to be custom dyeing some yarn for her, and she's going to help and see the process. But while I'm waiting, I'm going to go ahead and mix my dye for my worsted weight vest. And I want to do a really deep green colour, so I am going to start with a 1% pure green Lancet dye, and then I am going to figure out what I'd like to add to it. So I have my measuring cup that has the 100 millilitres of water, and I'm going to pop this on here and set it to 0, which is already set to. And I am going to grab my green dye, which is right here, and I'm going to measure 1 gram of dye. And I have my mask, which I am about to pop on, so bear with me a second. Okay, got it on. So let's measure 1 gram. I'm so used to working in millimeters because I'm British. 1 gram of dye. And the reason you use really hot water is because you want your dye to really mix. Almost there. Oops. There we go. And I will set that down. And I will pop that in there and give it a really good mix. Ooh, I like it just how it is. I might actually just do that and do a 2%. Hold on. And this is how I test for colour. I'll take some kitchen towel and I'll damp it. See, I like that. But I want it a little, you can see that, I want it a little deeper. So I'm going to go ahead and top my water and add another 1 milligram of dye. So we'll pop this back on here, and we will measure another milligram of dye. Make sure I got the green. Not milligram. I keep getting mixed up between millimeters, milliliters, and grams. There we go, got it. So I'm going to go ahead and pop that in. So now that I've put 2 grams in here with 100 milliliters of water, then that's going to be a deeper depth of shade. It'll be a 2% depth of shade instead of a 1%. So it'll be a really, really, really deeper color. And I will grab another paper towel and I will check, see how much deeper that is. Don't know if you can actually see that. So I actually really like that. So I am going to keep that as it is. Pop that away. So my dye solution is ready to go in my pot. So I'm going to go ahead and go add it to my pot and prep my yarns and get it ready to go in my pot. I'm doing a solid color. I'm not doing a variegated. I'm not doing a tonal. So it's merely adding your dye to your water, bringing it up to, well, bring your water up to temp first, adding your citric acid, and then adding your dye. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I will check back in with you in just a minute. I got my pot prepped. I'm going to do 2 skeins to pot. So, and it's worsted weight, and I have my citric acid in here. I did 2 tablespoons. Because I really want the dye to take, and I went ahead and added my dye. So I am just bringing this up to temp, and it's this lovely tealy greeny blue color, so I'm excited to see what it turns out like. And I got my yarn all prepped over there. I'm going to be dyeing 4 skeins, 2 to a pot, so I'll go ahead and I will put the first 2 in. I'm going to add my yarn to the pot, so I'm going to go grab it. Already run it out, and I am going to get this in here really quickly. Oh my goodness, I love the color already. Oh, beautiful. How deep it is. Can you see that color? So I am going to let that sit until it soaks up the yarn, until the dye exhaust, which is really important when you're dyeing. You need your dye to exhaust. You don't want any dye left in the pot. So I'm going to let that sit, bring it up to temperature, turn it up a little bit, and I'm going to just check to see how much yarn is actually exhausted at the moment. And let me see. See, you can see we still have a ways to go. So yeah, we're gonna let that sit, and I'm just gonna adjust it for just a second. Oh wow, I love it, but I can see some still has to exhaust, so let's just let that sit, bring it up to 10, and I will check back in with you when I get it out of there. Hi guys, here I am back in the dye studio, and I know I said yesterday that I was going to check back in with you when I got my yarn out of the pot, that I was dyeing from a worsted weight sweater, but then my friend came and we got chatting and dyeing her yarn and everything else, and I didn't actually get back on here. So it's the next again day, and it's all dry because it was a beautiful breezy day yesterday, so I was able to get it outside. So I just wanted to show you the result of our dye session yesterday for my worsted weight sweater, and I want to show you it. It turned out just how I wanted it. I wanted some green and some blue. So the green I chose was a perfect green. It was like a tealy blue green, and because I did it at like a 2% depth of shade, I got this beautiful deep kind of tealy blue color, which I didn't want to add anything to. When you get a color right, just leave it. Don't mess with it. Less is more. And yeah, so I'm really happy with it. If you can see, it's this gorgeous. Do you see it? Yeah, it's this beautiful tealy green color, and it is absolutely gorgeous, and I can't wait to get it on my needles to start my sweater. And I just realized yesterday that, see, I even get screwed up, so that was just screwed up. I just realized yesterday when I was looking at the pattern to dye the yarn because I'd already picked the pattern. It was in the Sublime book. I put it in the podcast. Well, when I went to look at the pattern to dye the yarn, I realised the vest is actually called the Jackie vest, and I'm thinking, what? How? I picked a vest. I didn't know the name when I picked it, and when I went to look back, it's actually called the Jackie vest. So I'm just like, that's super cool. Obviously, since my name is Jackie, so yeah, that makes me even more excited to knit it. So I dyed up 4 skeins. There's 1, 2's already wrapped, and yes, I'm super excited to get started. I love dyeing yarn. I dye yarn for customers every day, but as most dyers can relate, we very seldom kind of dye something just for ourselves. I mean, yes, we'll take our hand dyed yarn and we'll knit a sample, but to actually pick a project and then go dye yarn for it, it actually doesn't happen that often. So I'm super excited that it happened, and I have the colour that I wanted to have. Look at it in the skein. Oh, it's just yummalicious. In fact, maybe I'll call it yummalicious. I don't know. Anyways, I will check back in with you another day. Probably the next time I see you guys is when I do the actual podcast, which is when you see this video. So I will see you guys later. Hi and welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the little John about the dye studio. That was just a small insight to the dye studio, but hopefully for episode 5 I'm going to do a little bit bigger content over maybe kind of like a whole kind of dye session from start to finish. So I'm really glad that I got to take you in there for a minute, and now I get to show you how the yarn worked up after getting it dyed, getting it dried and everything. So I started my vest, and I know, don't say anything, I should have been further along, but I'm not. But hey, I'm proud of myself. So this is how it is knitting up. You can see all the kind of like tonal color changes, if you can see that. And the reason it's doing that, well, firstly, there really never is a true solid when you hand dye yarn, but if you let the yarn kind of sit there for a few seconds kind of on top to it submerges by itself and then start like pulling it down into the dye bath, then you'll get that slight color change, and that's kind of what I was going for anyways, and I absolutely love it. So this is it. This is the back of my Jackie sweater. I am about to reach the shaping for the armhole. Let me see if I can get a little closer so you can see it. But yes, I absolutely love it, and I dyed 4 skeins, but I actually don't think I'm going to need 4 skeins. Here's what it looks like in the skein, or the hank, or whatever. Oh, look at that tealy, greeny, bluey color. And yes, this color will probably get added to our colors online here the next time I do kind of a yarny update. So that is the progress on my Jackie sweater. So I am hoping for the next time that I podcast, excuse me, that I will have the back at least done and be on one of the sides. So it just has a back, it's 2 sides, and it is seamed, because traditionally over there that's how we knit garments. Most garments are seamed. It was a very new concept to me when I moved to America, to knit a garment top down or bottom up or whatever, all in the one piece. So if I knit a garment, I traditionally like to knit it where you actually seam it, because I just think you get a better fit. But saying that, I have a couple of projects I want to do that are top down sweaters. I want to do the Cipla. Well, I started the Cipla, I got to get back to it. So yeah, so that is my sweater, which I am super excited about. I will pop that away. And what else have I been doing? I've showed you that, I've showed you my shawl, I've showed you my little crochet thing. So now I want to go on to some Christmas gifts that I'm started and about to start, and because yeah, I can't believe it's August already, and yeah, here we are, and Christmas is coming, and every year I start too late and I don't get everything finished that I want to get finished. But one of the things that I'm doing this year for my granddaughters And I should have borrowed it, but thought I better not take it off her. But I knit both the girls last year little teddy bears, and I called them the little Stella bear and the little Isla bear. And I'm going to put the link for that. I think it was Mary Jane. Yes, Mary Jane's Tea Room. She does a series of like bears and bunnies and stuff like that. And I bought the patterns for some bears and some ragdolls. I'm hoping to do the ragdolls this year, but I haven't started them. But the bears that I knit last year, you can knit all different clothes for them. So this year I'm knitting some clothes for the girls for Christmas. This is so good. And I just finished, I haven't blocked it, so excuse the lack of blocking here, but look at that little mini cardigan. Look at that, it is so cute. And I did this all in little mini skeins, little 10-gram skeins that I had in my stash that I had dyed at some point for something, and I just kind of worked them together. But oh my gosh, it's so cute. So it'll get a little button on it. Let me see if I can press it down just a little bit so you can kind of see it. Yeah, maybe that's a bit better. So you see it, this little cardigan. It's so cute. So yeah, I want to knit a couple of cardigans, a couple of pairs of shorts. One of them I'm going to knit a little dress for. So that's the first one finished. So that's for little Stella's little bear. And maybe I'll try and steal the bear off her when she comes for the weekend. And at least take a picture so I can show you guys. But so yeah, that's some of the I'm working on some teddy clothes. And the other thing I'm working on, I got this pattern last year. I bought it and didn't have time to knit it for Christmas. So I am doing them for all the girls in my life this Christmas. My daughter-in-laws and my own daughter. But they are called, and I just do black and white copies because I save my ink. But they are called the Giving Mitts. You can see that, and this is the cutest pattern ever, and it uses, I want to say it uses Lopi yarn, because that's the yarn I got for it. I got the actual yarn the pattern called for. I can't see because I don't have my glasses on. Let me see. Yes, 2 skeins of Lopi yarn. I don't know, I can't read because I don't have my glasses on, but I will put that link for the yarn down below. But anyways, I have got one finished, other than I got my little marker there for the thumb. I gotta pick my stitches up and do the thumb, but you can see, and I chose like a kind of a grey and a mossy green, and then I think the other yarn I've got is like a cream, and then I'm going to do the mossy green. But I love these mitts. I've had this pattern for a year and I've been desperate to do them, so I only have, I want to say, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4 pairs I gotta do for all the girls in my life for Christmas. So they're all getting a pair of those for Christmas. And here's the yarn I'm working with, and I will put the link for that down there. And then when I had the shop, I kept some yarn for myself to do different projects or whatever, and this was one of the yarns that I kept. It's called Etta Beta yarn, but it's like a real chunky kind of thick and thin yarn, and I kept it so I could, I got some in greeny blue and some in brown colour, but I kept it because I wanted to make the girls some chunky cowls that have like buttons in the side, just my own thing. So I don't have them on my needle yet, but that's going to be a Christmas gift. I am going to work up some cowls for the girls, so I have 4 of them to do. So that hopefully will be on my needles by the next podcast, and those go pretty quick, so I should have at least one finished. Hopefully. I keep saying I'm finishing things, but I never do. And one of the other things I'm doing this year, and it's nothing to do with knitting, but usually people that are knitters or crocheters do other crafts too, and I've always did that, but I put everything aside once I started my yarn business, and I only knit or crochet because that's really all I had time for. But this year I decided to break out my embroidery stuff because I love embroidery, and embroider some things for some friends. So so I started this little embroidery project. It just says be you, and I think I'm going to do it actually in a darker thread because I kind of started that thread. Well, yeah, maybe it's okay. So how I do my embroidery, because I like freehand embroidery, I don't like to have a printed fabric. So I usually print out something that I like, and I don't know if anybody else does this that has embroidery, but I'll print out something that I like, and then I'll put it on a window when the sun is shining. I'll tape it to the window, and then I'll put my fabric over it, and then I will trace it onto my fabric so I have a guideline. So if you can see that, I can't remember what else that says, but because I have no glasses on, I really should have had glasses, but I don't have glasses. But anyway, it's going to be a cute embroidery project. So that's going to be for a friend. So I'm kind of excited to get that finished. And here's one I did for myself. Did this one for myself, I don't know, maybe about a year ago. And it says, she has fire in her soul and grace in her heart. And I saw it and I just loved it. And I just freehanded it and freehanded all the flowers and stuff. But they make cute little gifts. They're inexpensive. I use whatever fabric I've got, like a light linen fabric or a cotton fabric. And it's just a really nice project to sit at night. Takes you away from knitting for a little bit. It's like non-stressful. And yeah, so those are some of the Christmas gifts I'm working on this year for everybody. And then I'm also working on some hats every year, myself and my knit group, knit hats for homeless kids for an organisation called The Rare Breed here in Springfield, Missouri. And it's a great organisation. It's an organisation that works with the homeless youth here that we have here in Springfield, and they do all different things, but our contribution is to donate hats, scarf, hand warmers every year. So last year, I want to say we donated 274 hats and gloves and scarves. So yes, I've started knitting for that. So here's one of the hats that I've just finished. I haven't tied up my ends yet. But, so yeah. So yeah, that is our charity knitting. So I want to get some of that done. So yeah, and I'm thinking that is probably it. Let me check my show notes to see what else. Yeah, I think that's probably it. And you're probably fed up listening to me anyways. But at the end of this podcast, my daughter's going to add a little 5-minute podcast in from Helga. She's over there. And she's going to do a little podcasting with Helga. So when I switch off, it will continue for just a little bit while Helga says hi from Bonnie, Scotland. So it's been great to have you here. And one last thing is I have a promotion code for our Christmas advent calendar. So for all you podcasters, no, you're not podcasters. I'm the podcaster. For all you lovely locals, people, or anybody that's watching our YouTube channel here, if you go onto our website and enter in, let me check what code it is. If you enter podcast and the number 4, and I'll put it below too, starting from, that was the blooper, and I think I'm just going to keep that blooper in here. Anyways, if you enter in podcast and the number 4, and I'll put the link below, you will receive a 10% discount on your advent calendars for this year. And that's a great discount because, you know, our 25 days of Christmas advent is $200. So if you use your 10%, then you get a discount of $20. So that's a really good deal. And then also in the next podcast, we are going to start our first giveaway. So in the next podcast, we'll let you know how you can participate in that. So you want to make sure and tune into this one. Obviously you're here. And the next one, because the next one we're going to announce a giveaway and how you guys can enter and everything else. Just to say a thank you for listening to boring old me. So yeah, it's been great having you guys. You can find us in all the usual places. You can find us on our website. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Instagram. all under Lowlander Yarn Studio. And please, please, please subscribe to this if you want to hear more of my antics, or I don't know, I guess if you're just bored and you want something to do, then I guess you can tune in. So it's been lovely being with you for episode 4. And yeah, I hope you guys have a good month, and haste you back.
Hello. Well, you might be wondering what I'm doing on this podcast, but as Jackie said, I'm getting tagged on to the end of it to talk for 5 minutes, which is very difficult for me to talk just for 5 minutes, but however, I'm just going to adjust this camera a wee bit because I think I'm a wee bit squint. Let me see. Is that better? No. Yes, that's it. That's better. Okay, right. Well, as Jackie said, Becca, her daughter's been here for 3 weeks. She goes home tomorrow. Boo-hoo. We're going to miss her like crazy. It's been a fun 3 weeks. I've not always been at my best, but we've got there, and she's did a lot of things, and she's had a lot of fun and had great fun with all her cousins and drinking and clubbing it up and whatever. So it's back to reality for her on Monday, back to college, back to work. So what have I been up to? Right. Well, Jacqueline did a new colorway, a speckled yarn, and she had said, Mum, if I send you a skein of that, could you knit something up in it for the podcast? And I say, sure thing. So what I chose to do is I chose to do the Ocean Sky Shawl, because I love that shawl. It is so easy to do. In fact, a lady had contacted me and asked how she could purchase it, and I gave her the Lowlander details. She purchased the kit and did the kit, and she has since gone on to use the pattern to do 4 more, and she's basically doing her own thing with it. She's loving it. She's giving them all out as Christmas presents, so it's proved to be really good, and I think I'm being interrupted at the moment. I am. Close the door, please. No, I think it's just a ghost opening the living room door. Never mind, he's a very friendly ghost. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So, she dyed this. I wish we had Feel-O-Vision on here, because this yarn is so soft. It is beautiful, and this is a new colourway, and it's called Butterscotch. She's just started to do recently speckled yarn, and this is really a beautiful yarn. And this is it, if I get it the right way around. Let me see. This is it, done up in the Ocean Sky Shawl. It is a lovely, lovely shawl. And the good thing about this is she did send me this extra skein, which I get to use myself. And this is done in her Sockalicious fingering, which is 75/25 merino and nylon. And the colourway, as I say, is Butterscotch. There's 463 yards in that, so there's quite a good yardage. Also, I have been working on our by the lakeside summer wrap, which is, it's a bit big to show in the camera, but it is a lovely lacy wrap for the cool summer nights, or double wrap it round your neck for the cooler autumn nights. Right, and I have been doing, I think in the last podcast we were awaiting the birth of my great grandchild. Well, my granddaughter had a wee girl, and her name is Jessica Helen. Done lots of knitting for her. Cannot show you because she now is the recipient of that knitwear, and she is wearing them all the time. So I was busy doing that, and I have been knitting socks. 2 pairs almost done. This is for my daughter-in-law, and this is done in opal. I don't know the colourway of that, but that was done in opal yarn, and I'm thoroughly enjoying doing that. A while ago I purchased some minis, and I had sent a picture to Jacqueline and had said to her, could you dye me up some full skeins to go with these minis? And she did, and this is in her Highland Way fingering. These are 100% merino, absolutely delicious. I can't wait to use them. The colorway is Purple Haze and Violet Haze, and there is 400 yards in each, and they're 100% merino. So once I get my minis, which my friend's bringing me, I'm going to be knitting something really scrumptious with that, and I might just knit it for myself, keep it for myself. And then just because my girl loves me, she also sent me in her Sockalicious a little gift. Unfortunately, she did not put the colourway in any of these. She just put a little note on the bag, probably back to front, and it says, just because I love you. So there's a full skein, there's a half skein, and there's 2 minis. So we'll work out something to do with that. I've got lots of lovely yarn. Okay, so what else has been happening? Well, not a lot. I mean, you'll know as well by the last podcast that we were talking about my health. I have had a second biopsy on the glands in my neck, and no results from that yet. But I did get some results from the radiotherapy, and that the tumours have not gone, but they have shrunk, and the oncologist was quite pleased with that. So on that note, I would just like to say thank you to everyone. The messages of prayers and support and just love that has been sent to me has been phenomenal, and I really have appreciated it. I really, really have. The side effects have been pretty bad. Quite a shock, actually. I didn't realise they were going to be quite so bad, so I don't have a lot of energy, and I did lose my mojo for a wee while there where I wasn't knitting. I think I'm back on track now. Sad that I won't be able to go over to America this year as I normally go every year, but I have had my daughter here for 4 weeks, and now I've had my granddaughter for 3 weeks, so I have to appreciate that and be glad of that. There's not a lot else happening at the moment, but as you know, I'm an avid podcast fan, and I found this new podcast, and it's called Crafty Clegs. Now somebody put me, Sorry Me, the girl from Sorry Me, put me on to her. Jeanette Clegg, and she's only done 3 podcasts. I think she's just done her 4th one. The reason she did the podcast, decided to do podcasts or vlogs as she calls them, is because she too was diagnosed with cancer, and she decided that for her daughter she wanted to do it. So her and I have been chatting away, and although she's new to the vlogging / podcast, she is a wonderful crafter, and she does some really beautiful stuff, and I've just ordered a bag from her. Just hold on 1 second. Ta-da! I knew I would forget something. Anyway, this is the bag that I ordered from her. It's absolutely super, and I love the little bee that she puts on it. So I got that yesterday, and she did some really fantastic bags, but we feel that we have a lot in common, so we do chat quite a bit. And to be truthful with you, at first, I know that my younger daughter had wanted me at the beginning, when I was first diagnosed, to do a podcast / vlog, chatting not just my knitting and crochet and things like that, but also my cancer journey. And I thought, I don't know if people would really want to know about that, but you know, the finding Jeanette, it shows. I think it's good that not everything in the world is perfect, you know, and sometimes things come along and upset the rhythm of life, so to speak. And I think it's good to know that there are others out there that are going through the same or similar to yourself. It's a great support to other people, I think. But enough on that. So anyway, as I said, that's really all that I have got to show you right now. Just this is the nearest, by the way, that you're going to get to a split screen because we had actually hoped to have this podcast up and running, but unfortunately trying to send things from America to Rebecca for her to edit and upload has proved to be down near impossible. So it'll have to wait till Rebecca goes home, so we don't know when it's going to be uploaded. But if anything's out of date, we do apologise. And we'll try our best to rectify that in the notes and the show notes. Just a couple of things, and that we have only a couple of spaces left in our Advent boxes. We have the 12 days of Christmas and we have the 25 days of Christmas. Now, the subscription for the 25 days of Christmas ends at the end of the month. So if you want to take the subscription, that is that you pay your money over a period of 3 months. It's not coming off your bank balance all at the once. You have to put your order in before the end of the month. But as I said, we only have a couple of spaces left in that and 2 or 3 left, I think, on the 12 days. And there's also the Mystery Club of the Month, which is just, you don't know what you're going to get. It's a mystery. It's a skein of yarn and probably something else, goodies or something like that. And again, there's no subscription for that. You can just order for a month, or you can order consecutive months, every month. It's up to yourself. But whatever you do, you have to order by the 7th of each month. So if you wanted September, you would need to order by the 7th of September, etc., etc. I think that's about all the news that I have for you right now, except to say that, I don't know, hopefully one day when technology comes around me and a miracle occurs and I'm actually able to do things, I'll maybe be able to upload a wee podcast every now and again. And chat to you, because I do love chatting to you, and I love the feedback that we get for the podcast. Jackie did very well doing it on her own the last time, and she got a lot of good feedback from that. So it's like always, if you enjoy the podcast, you want to see us back again, give us a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and all left for me to say is that I hope you are all well, and I hope that you're all crafting. Enjoy the rest of what's left of the summer. I know that here in Scotland it's pretty miserable. And until we meet again, all I can say is bye, take care, and haste you back.